Milad here with AHA Sports, bringing you our standout players of Week 4 of ECNL play. This week we feature the two powerhouses, Seattle United and Crossfire. First matchup came from the U15 age division with national championship team Crossfire. Washington's only national champions from last year and coming on 20 straight ECNL wins for them. That's right, 20 straight W's in ECNL play. Ridiculous metric. Let's see if they can keep it going. This Seattle United team has tied 2 of their last 2 games. Started with a win, but in the past 2 weeks not as good as they would have liked to be. Last week they saw Crossfire's reserve team, and they saw themselves go down 3-0. Eventually they brought it back in an amazing finish to finish 3-3 and take a point. But, I mean, if they struggled that hard with Crossfire's reserves, you'd expect them to really struggle with the first team. But they didn't. A super even game. Like, you could see how much they wanted to make up for last week. And in the week before that, they tied a Timbers team that they would expect to beat. Like, the boys came out crazy. They came out firing on all cylinders. They really wanted to make up for dropping points in the last 2 weeks. And the embodiment of that attitude was number 14 for Seattle United, Ben Vu. He is one of our players of the week. Work ethic off the charts, physicality off the charts. I mean, just look at him in these clips. He is flying around, putting his body on the line for his teammates. Non-stop motor, playing that center forward position, always a threat. So many shots. Unfortunate not to score, but really working hard. Seattle United in that second half, bit of a personnel shift, came out and played a super high press, and Ben Vu led that press. I mean, unbelievable performance from him. The desire, the passion. That's the type of player that you want to see play every week, and that's the type of player that you need to be to make it at this level of play. Going into the second half 1-1, Seattle United got a super early goal. I think 5 minutes in, just caught Crossfire sleeping. A great team goal. Bingy Lara, their coach, thought it was their best goal of their entire time together. Brilliant goal. Crossfire answered back quickly, making it 1-1. Crossfire's own Dylan Davis was lighting it up. He was their main creative outlet. Super fancy feet. Kid loved a heel flick, loved anything fancy, anything that could show on a highlight reel. He loved it. Tried it out a lot. Didn't always work, but regardless, Crossfire's main creative outlet. Always an attacking threat for them on their side. At the end of the day, game finished 1-1 in a half that really could have gone either way. Crossfire's goalkeeper, Osundina, big part of that. Plenty of big saves for him. Big body covered a lot of the goals. So many acrobatic finishes for a keeper of his frame. Really great day from him. And that broke Crossfire's 20-game win streak. Finally came to a halt with this 1-1 tie against Seattle United. And again, it couldn't have happened without Ben Vu. Here's him and his thoughts on the game here.
I bring on the aggression. Made the other team give up fouls like they did. Be annoying.
And here's Coach Bingy Lara on his thoughts on Ben Vu's performance. If you want to catch Bingy Lara's full interview where he talks about the weather, among other things, and why he rolls up his socks into his pants. I haven't seen anyone do that, but Bingy Lara, he does it, and he has a good reason for it. You can check it out on our YouTube page or our Instagram.
Honestly, the man of the match for me, I want to shout out Ben. I want to shout out Ben Vu. I was hard on him this week. I wrote him a little bit this week. I've demanded a little bit higher standard. He didn't score today, but he did everything else to help us win that game. About Ben, yeah. I think that's the part is when you have the responsibility as being a center forward, or guy that's the one that's going to be the scoring the goals, sometimes you can get lost in if you don't get a goal that you haven't produced for the team. But today, there was a different level of intensity he brought. He was pressing them, he was being successful. Even when he lost the ball, he was going to get it back. There was never a moment where I thought, oh, Ben's not putting it in. And he ran himself up to about the last 4 minutes I had to pull him off. But that was it. That was all he had left.
And I mean, just look how hyped the boys are here. Seattle United absolutely buzzing on finally getting this Crossfire team to drop ECNL points and end that 20-game win streak.
We've played this team for a while. They've always been really good. And bye, guys. And we've always wanted to beat them, and we're getting closer and closer to that. All right.
What changed to get to that?
I think our attitude. A lot of times we used to put them on a pedestal, but once we realized that we can hang with them, like we knew we could go out and get them, so we did.
Moving on to the U13 division, again, a great matchup between Crossfire and Seattle United. Two perfect teams on the season, both teams having won all 3 of their opening games, but only one team can stay perfect. This game, not as even as the U15 division. Crossfire in control for the most part. Physical game as always. Seattle United a threat, a bit more reliant on their counterattack. I mean, as you can see here in this clip, Seattle United just struggled to break down the organization of Crossfire's defense. So well organized and such a physical and athletic backline. So much pace. Seattle United wanted to get there with those through balls and they just couldn't. Too well organized. You want to play over the top, you can't. They're too fast. Really hard for them to get past this Crossfire team. Crossfire up 3-0 in large part due to the affectionately named Shingi, constant threat on the right side. Kid was running. I mean, minute 1 to minute end running. Constant runs down that right side. Very similar to Seattle United's Ben Vu, but he relied a lot more on his pace. Obviously doesn't have the physicality or that large frame that Ben Vu has. Crossfire really tried to play through him, tried to slot him through. He sat as wide as he could and then made a diagonal run. And even when he didn't get the ball, just his constant threat, just being that constant danger man, opened up space for Crossfire center forward and that left flank. He was such a distraction that he created space for the rest of Crossfire's team. In the end, it ended 3-1. Seattle United getting back into it late with a goal off this corner, our goal of the week. Phenomenal finish. You can see how quickly they went to get the ball, tried to get the game going right away to get it back. Didn't happen in the end, but a valiant effort. Here's Crossfire's Brody Bowers on what's kept them perfect this season.
I feel like when we're in our attacking third, we really fight to score. Like, we get our chances good, and then when they attack on us, our whole defense gets back. Our whole team gets back, tackles them, plays aggressive, and yeah, that's how it works.
And finally, here's our player of the week, Shingi, on his performance, the difficulty of joining a new team, and stay tuned to find out his special talent.
My name is Shingi. I'm number 12, and I play right wing. I came from Oregon, playing for a club there, and I came here for like a practice, and I just played for a couple weeks, and then we had a tournament, and then I guess I was officially on the team. Yeah, this level up here is definitely a lot better than it was down in Oregon, so it's a big improvement.
Bro, I joined like 2 weeks ago.
I mean, I feel pretty comfortable. Yeah, it's probably like they don't know, especially when I first joined. I played a tournament like 2 weeks after I joined. There wasn't a lot of passing to me because they probably obviously don't know how I play or if I'm gonna keep the ball or lose it, or so they're just playing kind of conservative away from me.
Oh, Shingy, he can do backflips on ground. He can do backflips on ground.
And make sure to check us out next week as we cover Pac Northwest and Washington Premier.